That's quite a good conduct there from Martin Gould. But I'm afraid the frames are running away from him, and that's 72 there from Dave Gilbert is enough for him to go 4 frames in front at 6-2.
Thank you. The final frame of this session, Dave Gilbert to break.
Brendan Moore announcing the final frame of this session, and probably the biggest frame Martin Gould's played or going to play this season. Got to keep on to the coattails here of David Gilbert. Must win this final frame of this session.
Well, that's been the story of the match so far. So close, but so far away in many respects, and a lot of the important shots in this match he hasn't made, and they're normally a strong suit, so that must be hurting him.
Oh dear, it's amazing, isn't it, when what happens. He's found a gap between pink and the pack of reds, and the only way he can get on the blue is if he finishes virtually dead straight. Just keep an eye on the white here. Any kiss is on nothing. The jaw has just brought the white slightly more into play. So he's in first again.
Six. Seven.
Well, he's dominated in the match now. He's having a lot of table time. 60% against 40 for Martin Gould. That's quite a big difference. And the game gets easier, of course, the more you're out there on the table scoring, and gets harder when you're sitting in your seat watching the other guy scoring. So when your chance comes along, it's a much more difficult chance because you've got no rhythm. That's what the hardest thing I find is in snooker game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he has really been impressive today. And of course, I mentioned earlier, a lot of people like to have a bet in the first round matches here at the Betfred World Championship. And of course, Martin Gould was one of the first players that had put in the accumulators, seeded number 12 against an unseeded player that's been a pro for quite some time, and only ever been at the Crucible once before. They'd have thought Martin was almost a certainty to win the match. But as you can see today, the standard of play these days, everybody that's a pro at the moment can certainly play pretty good, as we've seen here. A little surprised he didn't go into them there.
25.
Oh, has he come too far for the outside of those 3 reds on the left?
Dave Gilbert, 25.
I think he played out the touches side to try and straighten the red, but didn't work out anyway. But once again, he hasn't left it on. At that pace, you think Martin Gould's bound to have an easy red as a starter here, but as Willie mentioned earlier, the balls haven't run his way, but that's often the case when you don't play well enough. Once again, a poor length on safety from Dave Gilbert. Very well played and very unlucky. Potted at dead weight, committed himself fully to the shot and could have deserved a little bit of luck there.
Blue.
It's the first red slightly thicker. He's on this blue nicely. These are the kind of blues that he gets an awful lot of the time, but not when he's this far behind.
Martin Gould.
It's amazing how your mind works. If he'd have been leading kind of 5-2, 6-2, that blue would have been a certainty.
Yes, it's okay, you can say he should take the blue on, but if it is against the grain, he shouldn't be playing it. There's no reason he got to play it. Nobody's telling him he's got to play it.
What?
I just feel sometimes in your disappointment when you're struggling out there, you go for a shot too many. Patience and self-control is needed in the crucible if you want to become a winner. Because it's a long period of time, 17 days. And you're going to have your good and bad times. And he hasn't got on the blue, so you can either play the brown or the yellow with the rest here.
I think at this stage there's a bit of value in taking the yellow on if you can reach it, but the brown he can run through and get nicely in behind the blue, and the way Martin's feeling at the minute, he wouldn't want to be playing the safety shot. If you played the yellow with the rest, you'd fancy him knocking it in 9 out of 10, so is it worth the risk? Maybe. It is such an easy safety shot to get him behind the blue off the brown, though. He's itching to play the yellow. And I think he's going to play it. It's amazing, isn't it?
Dave Gilbert, what?
He knows it. That was a chance to win the frame and putting himself in a position where it's almost impossible to lose the match. And in that situation, Dave's just found a little wanting on a couple of occasions today when he's got the frame in his grasp. He's missed an easy shot.
One.
And Dave Gilbert, of course, is his best ever ranking is 43, and he's been a pro since 2001 on